Hello! I wanted to make this video because I've known a lot of people, even those close to me, who don't understand what fibromyalgia is or how it affects someone who suffers with it. So my aim for this video is to explain what fibromyalgia is to people who may not know what it is, or would like to know more, or that kind of realm, if that makes sense. So I'm going to cover quite a few different topics in this video because it's quite a vast subject, so I wanted to do my best to cover it as much as I can. Please let me know if there's anything I've missed out, which I inevitably will. But this video is divided into 5 different sections. First of which being, obviously, what is fibromyalgia. The second of which is what causes fibromyalgia, which isn't... It's more like a subsection because there isn't a lot of knowledge as to what causes it. The third of which is treatment. Fourth is who is affected by it. And the fifth is what is it like to have fibromyalgia. So sort of for people who don't have it, I thought this might help them understand what it's like to live with this condition. I just wanted to say that whilst I have extensively researched this condition, I'm not a doctor. I am not the authority on fibromyalgia, and I've probably missed bits out. So if I have and you know what I've missed out, please let me know. And I'm going to link all the resources that I used in my research for this video and for myself in the past in the description, and I'll also add a couple of different sort of organisations that deal with fibromyalgia itself. Okay, so what is fibromyalgia? Fibromyalgia, also known as fibromyalgia syndrome, FMS for short, or simply fibro, which I often call it, is a chronic illness that causes widespread muscle and joint pain. It's an invisible illness, which often means that people don't believe you have it, or that you're faking. It's something I've experienced before, to degrees. It was also formerly known as muscular rheumatism. Little fibro fact for you there. I quite like that terminology, to be fair. Fibromyalgia pain is different to everyone. It varies in intensity and feeling, and sometimes it will feel like an intense burning pain, like on your skin, or sometimes even inside your skin, if that makes any sense at all. It can also feel like a deep stabbing pain. Some people may experience stiffness, aches, and pains all around their joints and all over their body. It will also feel like widespread pain, and sometimes it will be sort of bouts of pain, whereas for other people it's constant pain. Personally, I suffer with constant pain, so it's different. There are a lot of variables in it. Millie. Yeah. Oh, my nurse has left me. So there are quite a lot of symptoms that come with the condition itself. And some people may have some people may suffer with all of them. They can be in varying intensities, and there are some that I'm going to cover in a little bit more depth as opposed to just passing over because they require a bit more depth. That makes so much sense. I can speak so well today. I don't have to look at my notes at all. Let's get going, shall we? Right, So the various symptoms include increased sensitivity to pain, extreme fatigue, muscle stiffness, widespread pain, difficulty sleeping, headaches, tingling and numbness in your hands and feet, brain fog, also known as fibro fog, which is when somebody has a problem with their mental processes such as cognitive function, thought process, and memory, which is why I have to look down at my notes quite a bit because I can't remember what I've written or what I'm supposed to say. You can also go through kind of patches of brain fog, like sometimes you'll have a massive brain fog, like where sometimes I've known people who haven't been able to remember their child's names properly. I do the same with my name. It's like being so tired to the point where you can't think properly, you can't remember things properly. Sufferers will also experience flare-ups, which are an increase in symptoms. These can leave a person unable to get out of bed, which is wonderful. Flare-ups can vary in intensity and length, ranging from a few days to over a week. I generally categorize flare-ups into 3 different categories. The first being a pain flare-up, where it's mainly just me being in an increased amount of pain. Second being an exhaustion flare-up, which an increased amount of exhaustion, and the third being both at the same time. So an increase in exhaustion levels and an increase in pain levels, which is lovely. Flare-ups are caused by different things. They can be caused by mental stress or physical stress. So for example, when I went to Pride last year, I could barely leave my room for like over a week, I think, which was so fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend. They can also be caused by an accident, they can be caused by an injury, they can be caused by physical exertion, and they can just randomly happen because flare-ups have missed you and they want to be your friend again. The sarcasm is strong today, I'm sorry. So now we're on to section 3, which is what causes fibromyalgia. This is not a long section because there isn't a lot of research into the condition itself, or there isn't definitive research to say this specific thing causes it. There are different theories, but there isn't one answer, unfortunately. So some of these theories include genes that you get from your parents. It's thought that some people may be more likely to develop it if their parents have fibromyalgia. Fun fact about this, I am the 3rd direct descendant who has fibromyalgia. My grandmother, my mother, and now me all had it. But, so, there's that. I've also known people, like, one of my friends, her sister also has it, and she has it, so it's weird. It's also possibly caused by trauma, such as an accident or an injury. It's also thought to be caused by childbirth in some sources that I found, and sometimes it just kind of happens, I think. There are thought to be precursor symptoms and maybe I haven't included the other information of sort of precursor symptoms and things like that because it's not reliable information. It's speculation, which I wouldn't like to put in this video because it's not very it doesn't have a lot of basis, and I'd prefer to bring things to this video that are based in a few sources as opposed to just one. So after that very short section, we're on to our 4th category in this video, which is treatment. Unfortunately, there is no known cure for fibromyalgia. However, there are a few different treatments that you can do and things that you can sort of do to help alleviate symptoms and sort of help yourself out. So you can take medications such as antidepressants and painkillers. However, there are side effects to both. I personally take a few medications. These are mine for Saturday, and I totally didn't pick out this colour day because it matches one of the colours in my hair. See? I take a few, but they range from painkillers to things like B12 tablets to help with energy, fish oil, cod liver oil for my joints, magnesium citrate to help with energy and sleep, anti-nausea tablets to help with nausea, and like vitamins. So it's not all. You can do other things as opposed to just go straight for painkillers and antidepressants. However, they do help. You may also be able to sort of do lifestyle changes that would put less pressure on your body and therefore not worsening your symptoms. So, it can be simple stuff. There are also different courses that you can go on that will help you learn how to manage your pain and living with a chronic condition more effectively, such as EPP Cymru. I went on one of their courses. That was very useful. Good diet and exercise can also help with fibromyalgia as a whole. Next section. Who is affected by fibromyalgia? So, according to the NHS website, fibromyalgia affects 7 times as many women as it does men. But a lot of people seem to sort of think that it doesn't affect men because of that. It does. I know men who have fibromyalgia, but it typically develops more in women, and especially between the ages of 30 and 50. However, it can develop a lot earlier. Mine developed around the age of 19. Yeah, that was fun. Although there are no specific numbers in the UK, it's thought that it can affect nearly 1 in 20 people. For the US, according to the Arthritis National Research Foundation, got that right, between 80 to 90% of people affected with fibromyalgia are women, and they estimate it affects around 5 million Americans. And according to the National Fibromyalgia Association, this is getting so confusing with all these names. Yep. Around 3 to 6% of the world's population has fibromyalgia. Okay, so currently, the population counter is sitting at 7.8 billion worldwide. A lot of people are affected. So for the 5th category, I thought this would be sort of interesting and helpful for people who don't have fibromyalgia and want to understand what it's like living with it. And I found an article on the Mighty, which I will link down below, titled 21 Ways to Describe the Unique Pain That Comes with Fibromyalgia, which was published in 2018, so it's not too out of date. I've chosen 6 descriptors of what fibromyalgia pain feels like that I thought would be interesting to add and might help someone who's trying to understand it. Especially if you're watching this video with the aim of understanding what living with this condition is like. Fuck. Anita A says, it feels like I got hit by a semi and ran over a train. Then someone is stabbing me with needles all over my body. Letitia LN says, fibromyalgia is a deep and penetrating pain. It's the worst feeling and I feel this pain daily. It's relentless and impossible to find anything that relieves the pain associated with fibromyalgia. Jane D says, fibromyalgia has made my body a prison. It makes my bones ache like they are breaking. It makes my muscles throb, my skin burn. It's stabbing pains in my chest and soreness in my joints. It's headaches that make you think your head could burst. And none of this compared to the psychological pain of the life I have lost to this illness. Fibromyalgia is nothing like I have ever experienced, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Jenny WS says, severe joint pain, feels like hot lava fire, tender skin like my entire body is covered in bruises, muscle spasms all the time, deep bone pain that is piercing and aching, agonizing pain all over my body that never goes away. Even my face hurts, pain so bad I feel like vomiting. Jill FH added, like my body is on fire and stiff as a board. Then it goes away, but it comes back full force out of the blue, foot to head. And finally, Melissa C says, some days it feels like I have barbed wire wrapped around my legs. Every step, movement and slight pressure feels like the barbs are being pressed into my skin. So, I hope you found this video useful if you're looking to learn more about the condition. I also want to make a video talking about coping with chronic pain and maybe one about how to help a friend who has fibro and things like that. So if you're interested in seeing that, please subscribe. Please let me know about your experiences with fibromyalgia or anybody that you know who feels comfortable sharing theirs, or if there's anything that I've missed out or anything you'd like to add. Stay safe and have a good day. Toodle pip. Who don't understand what fibromyalgia... I have the condition and I couldn't pronounce it just then. Dear God. I'm a terrible spoonie. Who don't understand what I should just go back to bed, shouldn't I? I should.